Halo is back, and I've played the Halo Infinite campaign. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. You enjoy daily Xbox content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So I was very lucky to have received a advanced code from Microsoft to play through the Halo Infinite campaign, a game that is extremely anticipated by a lot of people, a game for me I have been very excited for, waiting for ever since the end of Halo 5 and the disappointment, in my opinion, of how that campaign went. It is a game that has a lot of pressure on it to improve over what happened with Halo 5, and I've played through it. Now, this is going to be more of my thoughts and impressions on the game because I've completed the main campaign and the story, but there is a lot to do in this game, and I am nowhere near yet having completed it all, and you'll understand what I mean by that as I go through this video. So Halo Infinite brings back Master Chief. That is one of the main staples of this game. You are going to be playing as Master Chief throughout the entire campaign, and I think that is something that is very good to see. If we remember with Halo 5, one of the biggest issues was that you played as Agent Locke for the majority of the campaign and you barely had any time with Master Chief, but that is not the case with Halo Infinite. You start with Master Chief, you end with Master Chief, and you spend pretty much as much time as you want with Master Chief. They drop you off in Zeta Halo after a very cool and fun beginning, and then you get the entire map to explore and kind of take on the game at your own pace. Now, I'm not going to talk about any spoilers for the story campaign or anything like that. I do not want to give away any of the story, but I will say this about the story, and then I'll just leave it at that, is I think for a lot of people, this is going to be a nice improvement over Halo 5. And then there will be people who may have wanted more out of it. But me personally, I think that what they did with this story was very well done, in the sense that we got some closure, we got some lead up to definitely future games that are going to be coming into Halo Infinite, or at least future story elements, and the cinematics, the way that the story was told, the mystery around what was going on, and the feeling that it gave you as you watched some of these cutscenes was almost chilling in a way. Like, I was completely into it, eyes locked to the screen, and I had goosebumps and chills going through my body for certain moments of this game. There are various characters in this game, but the main ones are, we have the Harbinger, we have Escharum, Master Chief, of course, the new AI, which I'm not really going to say anything about, and Echo 216, which is the pilot that we've seen in all of the previous videos. Those are the main characters, but there's also other characters in this game, and I think that they developed some of them great, and some of them they could have been a little bit better. But what I do think that they did very well was they built that relationship needed in Halo, which is between Master Chief and his companions. But again, I'm just going to leave it at that. I want you guys to play through the story, and I don't want to say anything else on that, because this is a game, this is a sequel to a huge franchise that a lot of people, I want to go in there and I want them to experience it for the first time and just kind of provide their thoughts and feedback, maybe in the video comments below or whatever, going forward, as to what they thought about it. So besides the story elements and everything, you are dropped into this Halo world, into this ring world, and it is a decently big map with lots to do. It's very cool how they laid it out, because you can literally just bypass everything and rush through the campaign, or you can take your sweet time and spend hours and hours completing all of the different things. So if we go to the TAC map, which is where you're going to be traversing, where you're going to see where you need to go, you can fast travel once you've unlocked stuff on this map, and you can see where certain things that you're trying to find are. So there's various different areas to visit, and each one of these areas can easily be viewed. Now, within each area, there are various collectibles lots of audio logs that give you a lot more in-depth look at what has happened on this Halo ring and what is going on with the characters within the story, stuff that they're thinking, stuff that you will definitely want to listen to, which I think is a great thing, because when games have audio logs, they either go one of two ways. They're either super boring and people don't want to listen to them, or they really add to the story. And in my opinion, the audio logs definitely do that. So I highly suggest trying to find as many audio logs as possible. Even me making this video right now, I still have more to find. I still want to go out and discover more of Zeta Halo and try to figure out what has happened, what's going on with the ring and all that kind of stuff, and just kind of fill in some of those blanks that the main Golden Path doesn't really tell you. But besides the audio logs, you're gonna find forward operating bases, and what these bases do is they, once you've captured them, because they're firstly held by the Banished, and then you can go in and you can defeat the Banished and capture the bases. They give you access to vehicles and weapons, and you can fast travel to these bases whenever you would like. And what's really interesting about this is that once you've captured a fob, is the short form for it, like I said, you can get vehicles and weapons, but you only get access to a certain amount of vehicle and weapons depending on what you've completed through the game. So if we go here to the fob section within the menu, I'm just going to show you some of the stuff that I've unlocked so far. And to unlock these vehicles and weapons and marines and stuff like that, you are going to need Valor. And what Valor is kind of just like, I guess you could say, your XP as you complete things. And the more Valor you get, the more you unlock. So for example, right now with the rocket launcher, I unlocked that. Then I unlocked a demolition marine force. And then the last thing I have unlocked is the Striker Sidekick. And then if I want to unlock an MA40 long shot, it's going to cost me 2,300 Valor to do this. And to do these types of things, again, you complete missions, you complete side missions, you go save Marines who are captured from the Banished. And every time you complete something like that across the map, you're going to get Valor. All right, moving on here to Master Chief's Armor. So within Master Chief's Armor, if you've played Halo Infinite's multiplayer, all of the equipment that's available within the multiplayer is what you're going to have with Master Chief. So you have the grapple shot, the shield core, the threat sensor, the drop wall, and the thruster. Now you find these different parts of your armor as you go through the game, and if you're going through the main campaign, you're going to get access to them all, which is cool. You're never going to have something that you just don't get if you do complete the campaign. And all of them can be upgraded, and to upgrade them, you need Spartan cores, and these can be found throughout the map. So you can see them on the TAC map, or when you're just running through Halo, when you're running through Zeta Halo, you're going to hear beeping, and the beeping, you're going to easily, distinctively understand where it's coming from, especially if you're wearing headphones, like if it's left, right, high, low, all that kind of stuff. As you get closer to it, it gets louder, and that's where you're going to be able to find things like Spartan cores and audio logs and different collectibles throughout the map. And I found that to be pretty intuitive. So it's rather than just putting a waypoint on your map and then just driving to it and getting it without any effort at all, it just adds to that mysteriousness that is within Halo Infinite. And that's one thing, like I said, I want to emphasize that one thing I absolutely loved about this game was just the mystery behind it, and the feeling of you never really knew what was going to be coming next with the story elements, what you were going to stumble upon as you're running through or riding a Warthog through the Halo ring. Sometimes there'd be a random group of Banished out there you'd have to take out, and sometimes there would be nothing for a little bit, and sometimes you would run across a base or some captured Marines, or you would accidentally drive over a hill and you wouldn't know what's at the bottom. Sometimes you would just accidentally drive off of the Halo ring. I know I did that a lot. I jumped off sometimes, not even realizing there was nothing under there. So there's so much mystery to this, and that's one of the things I love the absolute most about this game. And I want to stress that you're gonna really have fun just discovering the ring. You're gonna have fun discovering the world and just seeing what's out there. So another really cool feature about this game are the targets, and the targets are just kind of mini bosses. They have health bars above them when you encounter them, and they're spread throughout the map. You actually have a place in your menu where you can see all the targets and find the ones that you have killed, and then you can see the ones that are still alive. Or some that you haven't discovered yet because you haven't explored Zeta Halo enough yet. And once you come across these targets, you're gonna know right away they're gonna have a red name above them, and like I said, they're gonna have a health bar. And once you kill them, you're gonna get access to a powerful weapon that you're gonna be able to pick up at your fob. So for example, killed this guy here, got access to a duelist energy sword, and I thought that was really cool. It just gives that more of things to do, as well as it adds some challenge to it, especially if you're playing on a higher difficulty, going out and trying to hunt these mini bosses. It is an open world in my opinion. I know they've kind of been labeling it as a semi-open world, but there is a lot to do, there is a lot to explore, and I would consider this entire game to have an open world feeling as you're running through and discovering things. And what else really makes it open world is just the combat itself, because if you remember the older Halo games, you'd have those set pieces. Yes, they were sort of open. You'd have to move around to get through the levels, but they were definitely more linear than what we have here in Halo Infinite. I'm finding in a lot of my battles, you can't just hide behind a pillar or a box or something to regain your energy as much as you could in the other games, because you got people coming in, you got enemies coming, you got the banished coming in from all angles. Just when you think you've killed the guy behind you, there's 3 more guys coming in. Just when you think you've killed the guy from your left to right, more guys are dropping in. So you kind of got to be moving. And this is where the equipment really comes into play. Utilizing equipment is very important in this game. And I have to say that specifically the grapple hook itself, I think is the best thing ever added to Halo in terms of movement. I absolutely love the grapple hook. It can be used in so many different ways. It can be used to jump across something you couldn't get to climb up, to get verticality and snipe your enemies from high up, to just when you're being attacked, running around and kind of Spider-Manning fast and far away. And then it can also be used to attack enemies and stun them and all that kind of stuff. And you can continue to upgrade it to improve the way that the grapple shot works. So this is an awesome feature to the game. Really happy they added it in, and you just feel more like a Spartan because of the grapple shot. Now in terms of the enemy variety, it's the Banished, and the Banished have enemies that you've encountered before from the Covenant, right? You have like grunts, you have brute, you have the jackals, all those type of guys, and then you have these skimmers who are new. They fly around, they have guns that can stun you because they have like shock rifles and stuff, and they kind of stop your vehicle from moving. And those guys were decent. They were cool additions. They weren't too hard to take out. They're kind of like a lower level enemy, I would say, more comparable to like grunts in the air, because that's the best way to put it, because you could take them out in one shot. But I would say the biggest addition here are the mini bosses and just the difficulty of those guys compared to your regular enemies. And then you have all of the guns, some of the new guns that we've already used, or if you haven't yet, within Halo Infinite's multiplayer, like the Ravager, like the Cinder Shot, like the Shock Rifle, as well as various other weapons that are out there. And utilizing the correct weapons in the correct times is very important, because sometimes you're going to be running into hunters and stuff, and you're not going to be able to just pistol them, or it'll take you forever. You got to really utilize what you have, what you can find, and then you got to utilize the map itself and try to get behind them, try to get above them, all that kind of stuff. All the vehicles are in this game. I mean, you can go around and you can find everything. It's really up to you how much you want to explore. I think that's one of the main things with this game, is that the vehicle combat is solely really up to you. You don't have to use a vehicle, but you can. And like that's like in every Halo, but more so in Halo Infinite because of the size of the world. You're going to want to find vehicles, because sometimes you're going to be running through the map and then you're going to get attacked from all sides, and it'll be hard to get out of it. So it's cool how they have done that. I think that they have made a sizable map that isn't too crazy big, but isn't too small either, and you're gonna have a good time, like I said, exploring the map and just finding new things. One thing I do want to mention about the enemy specifically is the grunts. The grunts probably have the best commentary that I've heard in any Halo game. They're always saying just weird, wacky shit, and it's always making me laugh as I'm playing through it. Now, when it comes to the music, I found the music to be really cool. I mean, Halo's music notoriously has always been one of the best soundtracks in video games. For me, it's like up there as one of my favorites. This music is more like rocky, bassy, I would say, and it comes in all the time at the right moments. And I think it's just another classic Halo soundtrack, especially when The songs that we know and love are played in the big epic moments of this game. That's all I'll say about that. So a great addition to an already incredible soundtrack that we have with this franchise. So I've been ranting and talking about Halo Infinite now for a pretty long time in this video, and I kind of want to sum up how I feel about this game, because I think it's going to have a strong reaction from a lot of people. I think a lot of people are going to love it, but you're definitely going to have people that could be put off by some of the things within the campaign. So I'm not going to say anything else. I keep saying that, but I really want to be as quiet as possible so I don't hint at any sort of spoilers. But I think personally, this game gave me chills. I was going to put it out there. When the game ended, I had like really happy feelings. I had a lot of fun with it. So I guess that kind of explains how I feel about this game. I think 343 did a great job with it. I think they really bounced back from Halo 5, and it leaves me with hope for the future of Halo campaigns, because there will be future Halo campaigns. There will be additions to this game. You can tell just by the name itself and kind of the way that they're going with the franchise. And I guess that is the best way to sum up how I feel. I had joy, happiness, had chills as some of the things happened, and it kept me throughout the game engaged with this just aura of like, I want to discover this world more and more and more, and I don't want it to end. I would love to hear, once you guys have played the campaign, specifically the main story, what your thoughts are in the comments below, because I am very, very interested on where people are going to land on this game. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what other people, reviewers have said. We'll see what other people that play the game say. Not that it really matters for my enjoyment. This is how I feel. This is my honest, true feeling of Halo Infinite right now. But I'm just interested in seeing where the masses land on how the story went. So let me know what you guys think about this impressions, thoughts type of thing. And then, hey, if you want to, let me know later after you've played the campaign what you thought about it. But that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support. It's an incredible time with Xbox. I'm really excited for all of you to jump in on December 8th, and I'll catch you in the next video.
We'll be right back.